Unfortunately, thousands of our neighbors are still in the dark from the storm last weekend, and there's a little pressure knowing what's around the corner now.
Yeah, you just got yours back yesterday, right? Yesterday afternoon?
Yes.
So,
Thankfully, it was back yesterday. But I mean, you think about what's happening Friday and the fact that it's so close to Christmas. And not only will people be without power, probably, but you've got the people who are working on the lines who are away from their families.
Yeah, that's actually, like, we talk about news being a job you always have to work when other people don't. Even more so is that kind of work where it's like it doesn't matter what the scenario is. And unfortunately, we got a storm coming for Friday, so we're going to kind of breeze through the next few days because there's not a whole lot going on. And then we're going to focus on that storm. We do have some light snow into down east and northern Maine. I just wanted to point out that was ongoing. It's not all that heavy. There's been a little bit of accumulation, though, as a result of that. You can see it dying out. And then overnight tonight, temperatures drop down into the 20s and some teens out there. And then tomorrow's another pleasant day in most spots. More clouds over northern Maine and into down east Maine, but most of us in good shape into the upper 30s tomorrow afternoon along the coast, mid 30s farther inland. We'll do it again on Wednesday. There's really no difference between the days, maybe a tad bit sunnier for more of the state on Wednesday. Temperatures, though, again in the mid and upper 30s. Cool again on Wednesday night, and then we start with some sunshine on Thursday. Clouds eventually come in on Thursday afternoon as we wait for this storm system, which we've talked about. We knew about this before the last storm, right? But I just said we don't have time to talk about this yet. And then it started to feel like maybe Friday of last week that this was not going to be a snowstorm for us. Now the overall setup is prime for a big storm because we've got this deep trough digging down into the eastern seaboard. It tilts backwards or what we call negatively, and then we've got a block upstream. So that's all fodder for a big storm across the east. The problem for us is that this storm is going to phase quickly. So we call it phasing when two storms come together. We needed a partial phase or a slow phase to have a snowstorm, where this low was a little bit slow to phase and then boom, snow all over us. Instead, it phases quickly and it's a full phase into this Midwest low, and this low goes way to the west of us. We get into the warm sector here on Friday, rain and wind through Friday night and into early Saturday. And then this storm moves out of here. But because it's such a big storm, powerful low, being on the other side of this front has other issues too, which is winds. I took this and put only wind barbs in that are over 40 miles an hour. And so you can see it's streaming in here Friday afternoon, Friday night out of the southeast. Now the exact wind speed is going to be the key here, but I think an opening bid is 50 to 55, and I could definitely be persuaded to go higher than that through Friday afternoon, Friday night. Again, southeast at some point due south. And you know me, I'm not into scaring people. Some models have 70 miles an hour, so we have to be very careful with this. And the rain will be in excess of 2 inches in a lot of spots too. The mountains, by the way, will get a little snow to start, but even they will end up with all rain. They got 3 feet of snow basically over the weekend. They'll keep some of it. But I think the story here will be power outages Friday night into early Saturday. We are actually quiet for Christmas Day itself and a little chilly, but again, it's the lead up there that could be a problem for us.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Soaking rain. All right. Thanks, Keith.